Everybody, Roger here. Just want to talk today about my opinion about the whole Kavanaugh case last night. My company is in the middle of a move. We're moving offices, and I was able to listen to it on my phone as I was doing all the moving and stuff. But yeah, and also occasionally peep in and watch some of it. Yeah, and I tell you what, so much grandstanding by the Democrats. They are definitely showing their true colors in regards to where their allegiance lies, and it's not with America. It's not with the rule of law. They operate on the fields. And this is a perfect, if not the best example of it so far, where everything is I believe. I understand the Democrats now. Everything for them is this fake fluff filler stuff like believe and hope, and it's like, you know, all these fabricated things. Why not instead of believe, why not evidence? You know, you can believe in Mother Nature, or you could believe in the Tooth Fairy or Santa. Yeah, this is what it sounds like. Let's just imagine this, that they're all saying they believe in Santa. I mean, instead of just her, they believe in Santa. Well, okay, well, give me the proof. That's how it works. That's how our law works. The presumption of innocence before the guilt. So right now they think that it's the other way around for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is an American just like every single one of us. Doesn't matter how high or how low of a position he holds. He is an American that deserves the presumption of innocence first and foremost. Now, granted, you know, he still has his history with, you know, under Bush and stuff, but that's beyond the point. You are taking a man, and you're already putting him in the middle of a witch hunt. I'm not going to say he's the guy who's actually being hunted, but you definitely have, as he stated in his testimony, ruined his reputation for life. And it's true. And it's all, but the thing is, you know, I really do hope that he doesn't take that seriously. I think if somebody was to, for me personally, when somebody says some shit about me, and it's not true, I would, yeah, I'd bring it up, but I wouldn't let it bother me for so long. I'd be like, okay, whatever, this is it. And if you want to keep preaching that, fine, go for it. Run your mouth off, see where it gets you in life, and go from there. That's how I am. So Blasey Ford decides instantly that she wants some coffee and makes a joke out of this whole spectacle. Just fucking ridiculous. So with that, she continues, and she has this trembling voice the whole time. And, you know, she's a clinical psychologist or some sort of psychologist. And so she knows what can pull at the heartstrings of people. And then you see the grandstanding by Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, these people. Your bravery, your courage. Fuck you guys. No. I could go, okay. Like, I haven't watched his videos in a while because some of them are cringe at this point for me. But he did bring out a good video the other day, and I listened to it, and he was spot on. There are a lot of women. Brandon Tatum is what I'm talking about. Brandon Tatum, I like the guy, but a lot of the things he's done lately are cringe. Kind of like me, you know. A lot of people say some of the things I do are cringe, so touche. But anyways, he made a good point. He's like, you know, I've seen women that I've arrested that look like they're telling the truth, they're crying the whole 9 yards and everything, and come to find out that it's actually the man who is innocent, and the woman. Again, anybody can lie so good, especially somebody like Blasey Ford, who apparently was afraid to fly, but can go on trips and have beach friends, and go on trips to Delaware, to Costa Rica, to Hawaii, wherever. And this is the funny part. She kept saying, "Oh no, it's my civic duty to make sure I brought this to the table." But she wanted people to come to her. She didn't expect to actually go out and do the work herself, you know, in a case like this. And she's willing to fly to all these other places. Then she says she's afraid to fly. It comes out that she flies to all these places for leisure, and then she wants it on the taxpayer for our elected representatives to actually go and see her in person. No, that's not how it works, lady. And the whole excuse of her being afraid to fly, fucking stupid. She was caught in lie after lie after lie, and then that mic thing where her attorneys were just basically pushing the mics left and right, and making it to where you know, she didn't answer certain questions, and trying to be very careful with what she said. She was on something, that's for sure. She was definitely on some sort of a fucking medication or whatever. The girl was just whacked. Comey, sorry. Kavanaugh Kavanaugh ended up saying a good thing in that he's like, I'm not questioning the fact that, or I'm not questioning the assumption, not the fact, excuse that word, I'm not questioning the assumption that she believes that she was raped, but it definitely wasn't me. Again, Booker, if you want to be credible, Kamala Harris, if you want to be credible, anybody who was there wants to be credible, or anybody in public office, or anybody in the news wants to be credible, you look at facts. You look at facts. Oh, I believe you and your courage. And then all you fucking Hollywood tropes as well. A stupid ass picture of Will and Grace, saying that they believe her. It's like, okay, great. Believe all the fuck you want, but law is how this land is run. So I think we're at the precipice right now of, I don't know if I could say that our nation is falling apart. But if the Republicans, here's my thing with this whole thing. If the Republicans do not act on this, if the Republicans give in like they fucking always do, and the rhinos, I put them in separate classes here. But if they're not aggressive with this, you're going to lose a lot of support. I mean, how many times do you have to be weak? How many times do you have to let shit like this happen over and over and over again? And be walked all over, and let the Dems walk all over us again. Here's my thing. If it turns out that Blasey Ford's accusations and assumptions that everybody believes turn out to be false, even if one smidgen of evidence comes out that completely annihilates her claim, she needs to be fined. She needs to put this is a public interference. This is affecting the entire United States. This isn't just a crime of hearsay. This is now blocking the process of progress with our judicial system, with our law, with putting somebody in office, with things getting done in the Trump agenda. This is all the Democrats have done the entire 2 years. They're blocking. Now, granted, the Republicans did this during some times under Obama, and Obama, his red tape was just to executively sign off on things. But again, as you see with Trump getting in, he can turn those things over, and that's what Trump is trying to do here. He's trying to make it to where he does not have to do that. He wants to basically make it to where we can sign things into law. We can create bills that are long-standing or very difficult to take out of law. And that way we can progress. That way the next person that takes over him, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat or somebody who just completely hates his policies, is going to have a very, very, very difficult time in turning over those things. So anyways, those are my 2 cents. The most important thing here, out of everything I just said right now, is Blasey Ford needs to be put up as an example. If it turns out that there is anything incorrect, a lie, whatever, that she has said in her testimony, she needs to be punished. Prison, whatever. Again, this, to me, when it affects the entire nation, it's a imprisonment offense, in my opinion. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think they were too easy on her? Do you think that her coffee thing was pretty cringy in the beginning, her little coffee tirade? Really love to get your guys' views. This was trending on Twitter like crazy, and everybody on Twitter was like, "Oh my!" I really could not believe how everybody on Twitter was just like, "Oh my God, her tears are so real, and I feel for her," and yada yada yada. She's a plant. She's a plant. As a person who I'm a man, but I have been sexually assaulted very badly, and I remember very vividly. I remember the guy's face. I remember his truck. I remember what I was doing walking home. I remember all of this shit. I remember coming home and everything after. I remember even the parts that people supposedly say they black out. I remember being like that eerie sound. It was like when you get in a car wreck, when you're about to get in a car wreck, which I have almost been in twice. One of them almost fatally. I would say it was during rush hour. I was careening over and over from cars. It was really, really scary. The sound goes away. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it, but you can't hear anymore. and all your focus is with your eyes and your movements. It's weird. Similar experience like that with me and with this guy who did what he did to me. I remember everything. And I've talked to a lot of victims as well, men and women alike, who remember everything as well. They don't forget this fucking shit. And you're a psychologist. You build fucking walls in your house. You have to have more escape rooms in your house and whatever. For what? Because somebody fucking allegedly put their hand over your mouth one night, but nothing went past first base? This is all alleged. If it really happened, yeah, of course I'm going to feel sorry for you. But right now, it's a fucking tool. And you're a tool. And you should be disgusted with yourself, with what you're doing to America. You should be disgusted with yourself for everything at this point in time. Go hang out with your beach friends and leave the fucking Americans alone. Piss off.